lots of thoughts trying to come out at the same time. But,
Well, would you look at that? Tony Blair, the man who lied us into Iraq, destabilised an entire region and left millions dead or displaced, has just been offered a new job. Not in The Hague, where many believe he should be. No, according to Donald Trump, he will now be sitting on something called a Board of Peace, overseeing Gaza's transition.
Britain's former Labour Prime Minister, suit-wearing sportsman, and Iraq war cheerleader, Tony Blair. It seems his resumes impressed the Trump White House so much, it's considering appointing him governor of Gaza. Just a warning, this might be triggering. According to reports, Blair is part of the US president's 21-point Gaza plan, which Donald Trump presented to Arab and Muslim leaders on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. The document outlines the Trump administration's vision for the day after the Gaza war ends. This is how it goes. All captives still held in Gaza will be released immediately. Battle lines will be frozen. Hamas will disarm and destroy their weapons, and those who want to renounce violence will be given amnesty, while those who don't will be allowed to leave to other countries. As for civilians, those who choose to leave Gaza will apparently be free to return. Crucially, the plan establishes a transitional government to rule Gaza for an unspecified number of years until a reformed Palestinian Authority can take over. And Tony Blair is tipped to lead this interim government. Of course, it's not the first time Western officials have appointed themselves leaders in the Middle East. There's that time American Paul Bremer ran Iraq, for example, or Britain's entire colonial legacy, for that matter. And in case you were wondering, no, Blair is not Palestinian, but he does have a bit of history with the territory. When he left number 10 Downing Street in 2007, he promptly took up residence in the famous Colony Hotel in occupied East Jerusalem as part of his new job as a Middle East envoy. He was there to promote peace and the economy and such. But after almost a decade in the job, Palestinian officials described Blair and his job as useless, useless, useless. More recently, he's popped up as part of Trump's controversial Gaza Riviera scheme. It emerged that employees of the Blair Foundation were meeting Israeli businessmen and the US consulting group which developed the idea. As for what Palestinians themselves think about their potential new viceroy, it doesn't appear that they've been consulted. However, a Hamas official said Blair is an unwelcome figure who, instead of running Gaza, should be on trial for war crimes.
Board of Peace? Blair? This is like putting an arsonist in charge of the fire brigade. Tony Blair is the guy who took us into an illegal war on false pretenses. Over 1 million Iraqis dead. ISIS was born out of the chaos. Britain's reputation was trashed worldwide, and now the great peacemaker rides again, because apparently if you create enough war, mislead enough people, and destabilise enough nations, eventually somebody will reward you with another one. They'll tell you, oh, he brokered peace in Northern Ireland, fine. But for every Good Friday agreement, apparently, there's Fallujah, Basra, and Baghdad. So forgive me if I'm not cheering at the thought of Sir Tony Blair returning to fix the Middle East. These people never go away. Different decade, same faces. Make a mess, retire, cash in, and then come back in as an expert. And here's a radical idea. Before Tony Blair gets to oversee Gaza, maybe he should try answering for Iraq. Because until the architects of past disasters are held accountable, there will be no peace. Not in Gaza, not in Britain, not anywhere.
Good day, sir!
You're still here?
Well.
This is what being right wing must taste like. If you want to subscribe to Just Jake, subscribe over there. And if you want to watch more videos from whatever the hell this is underneath it,